I'm trying to ride my motorcycle every day this year. This is day 62, off pavement on the NC 700X.
And we're back. So, today is the 3rd of March. And Mrs. Smith is taking a class. And I figured I would take young NC out and do a little off-pavement riding. So, what I figured I'd do is bring my tire pressure down a little bit. Brought my compressor with me, and hopefully that'll make me feel a little better on this bike in the dirt. Probably gonna bring it down. Honda has the rear set for 42. Probably bring it down to 30-ish or so, maybe like 28. And I'll do the same in the front. So, all right, I'll probably check in as I get riding. Peace out. Back. So I lowered my tire pressure, probably like 30 and 28, and yeah, we'll see. I mean, this road is pretty good here, so it's pretty interesting though. Like, I can fly down these roads on my CRF. We know Mrs. Smith is here. She's slower than me, so I go fairly slow. But this road, I feel comfortable going like easy 25. You know, that's no problem. Definitely probably like 35, 40. And as I said that, I looked down, I'm like, I'm going 30. So who knows? But yeah, my thing is, man, I mean, I love riding my small bike around, but I gotta get more confident riding the bigger bikes. And I'm not even talking like big bikes for real men. I'm talking about for myself. I'm talking like the 650 GS. I'm talking this is a 670. Screw you getting on a 1200. I gotta just get more comfortable on this stuff. So anyway, like I said, this is like a walk in the park here, riding this bike down this road. Some of the other roads will probably be a lot more challenging and pucker factor for me, but we'll see how it goes. So, all right, well, yeah, I guess that's pretty much that. Check in a few more times today. I don't know if I said this before. Mrs. Smith is doing a off-road riding class, so I kind of felt like I needed to get out on a bike. And I should have a few hours without rain, so that'll be pretty good. Initially, I was going to take the VFR out, but I don't know. I'm turning into more like just liking a bike that can go any place, and that's the hard part of me having 3 street bikes that I don't really ride around. And this bike, I know this bike, if you're a hardcore adventure rider, this is a street bike too. Don't get me wrong, but it's got more capability than, let's say, the VFR does, the Hawk and the Hornet in an OEM setup. So, all right, well, I was thinking, man, one time I was coming down this road and there was like a quad. I saw something in the corner of my eye, right? And I was like, I wonder what that was. And I came around one of these turns, and like a quad was probably coming around, drifting, going like 50 miles an hour, and almost plowed into me. Those were the days before the camera. So, yeah, feeling pretty good right now. We'll see what happens when I get to shittier shit, as they say. So, all right, well, sit down and turn the camera off with that. Peace out. And we're back. So this is another dirt section that I usually do. This is Smith on the CRF, and this one's again, still an improved road, but it's got a lot more potholes and ruts and stuff. I don't think it gets as much traffic. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. I said it's God, man, it's a pretty beautiful day today. I'm not gonna lie. Should probably think more about More about riding and less about running my mouth. What I found about the NC, on my cross country trip is it's a good, it's a good all around bike. Don't get me wrong, for sure. But like where it really struggles is if you have really lots of bad sections of pavements or a lot of rocks and bumps to go over. That's when you could really see how poor the stock suspension is set up. I mean, as compared even to my CRF 250, which is no great bike either, and not like a race bike or anything, but that bike definitely has more suspension travel, recovers better from the bumps. Well, that could be in my mind too. Who the hell knows? What do I know? I just make free videos on the internet, and like to ride bikes up. All right, well, with that, check in at the next dirt. Peace out. And we're back. So I'm hitting the unpaved section of Tonzi. Hey! Can never resist doing that. And then I'm going to do an out and back on Payne. Listen, it's a real pain in the ass. So now I'll do. Usually I do this on on out and back. It's so interesting, like trying to stand and ride on this bike on turns. 'Cause I don't do it that much. Oh, here's our stream crossing. Woohoo! Yeah, so this bike, like I said, it's it's got a low center of gravity, so you do actually feel really good riding it, off road. I'll have to check. Maybe I'll take Thumper out while we still have Thumper on the same road. And from what I remember with Thumper's like Thumper's way more off-roady worthy, but Thumper also has feels way more top heavy to me. But then again, like I said, this is all from just memory. I have nothing to really prove this other than what kind of mood I'm in for the day and what I feel like. So, yep. So far, so good. Problem with this bike too is when you drop it, man, it's like it's a pig. It's like probably close to 500 pounds. I'd have to check. But I remember when it dropped over on one night when I was camping, just in the middle of the night, almost crushed me in a tent. It's a kind of a bitch to pick up, and I'm not I'm not a small dude. I guess I'm a small dude, but I'm not like a manly man, but I'm not like a super little person either. So it's a lot easier to pick up the 250, that's for sure. So that bike probably weighs like 320 pounds versus probably, I'm gonna guess, 450 or 460. So wow. Yep. Alright, I'll hit the other crossing and I'll turn the camera off because I forgot to charge it last night. Last night I came home. If you watched the video, you probably saw that it was pouring like hell. So, and then I had to shovel rocks out of the back of the truck so we could use it today to take Mrs. Smith's bike to class. So one thing I'll tell you, I mean about this bike that's kind of hard is the front brake pedal, or the rear brake pedal, because there's no front brake pedal, is like pretty far down. So you really have to almost bend your knee and really push your toe down to get through there. So I've never seen anybody walking on this road. That's cool. So, and then with that, I still have these Garnet, G stands for garbage boots, Garnet Adventures. My feet are freezing right now because they got soaked to hell last night, and They didn't dry out super well in the house, and I didn't put on great socks, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Forma boots this weekend. If I can do something productive rather than process videos, I'll order those, and probably tires for the VFR, because those tires are just about shot, and if they're not, they're pretty old. So, alright, well, sign back in the next section if I got battery. Peace out! And we're back. Looks like there is a bunch of turkeys in front of me. I'm on Varia Ranch Road. Oh my god, there's a lot of turkeys in. There's like 7, probably like at least 2 dozen. Hate to freak them out. Turkeys are starting to become like a nuisance around here. In suburban areas like where I live. Just tearing up lawns and that. So yeah, this is Varia Ranch. Pretty similar to the other roads I've been on. Yeah, really having a pretty good time on Young NC today. Yeah, famous last words. Until I slide the rear out and fucking crash, break something. But F-bomb, but hey, you know. I run an adult channel, right? So I've been trying to be better with the swearing, and I think that's been turning out pretty good. Haven't gotten any nasty comments anymore, so I guess that's fine. So yeah, one of the things I hate about these roads is, you know, they just throw down gravel on them like this, and it's thick at parts. Like, if you come down here when they first gravel, it's like, holy shit, man. Good luck, because you feel like you're just skating through, just skiing through it. Yep. So, Varia Ranch, and I think I'll go on New Chicago, and then maybe there's like some mine road. I can't remember what the hell the name of it is. So, alright, well, with that, peace out. And we're back. So, still on Varia Ranch. There's some crossings here that get to be pretty deep. We almost floated away on the CRFs last year, but that was a really rainy year. It was pretty bad. Like, the edge of the crossing got so deep, and the bikes pretty much just got like almost swept away. Spooky. So yeah, another thing I'll say is, you know, I don't know, this is again all my opinion, but getting a small bike really helped, being able to ride like this bike, because I feel super comfortable today on this bike. I mean, not like I'm gonna run the Dakar, but I don't think I'd be as comfortable if I didn't buy a small off-road dirt bike first, and then the CRF 250, and really kind of, you know, feel more comfortable learning on those bikes. So the one thing I will say, this crossing's doing nothing today. That's what I say, and then it's like, actually, that's a lot deeper than I thought, man. That's probably like a foot deep. So yeah, I think the next, you know, I kind of, random thoughts, you know, I mean, that's the way my head works, but a few things I guess I could say is, you know, I wish the exhaust on the NC was a little higher. So I wish it was a lot higher. I wish they would have just, you know, snorked it up if they had to. And this one's going to be a little bit deeper. I'll say, all right, here goes nothing. Yeah, that was deep. I could feel, I could feel the bikes sliding there. So, you know, so that's the thing there. You know, I don't even know. Yeah, that's probably the point where the exhaust is getting sucked in to the water. So, you know, I guess if you don't stall and you keep going, all's good. I don't know why they couldn't snork it up a little bit. You know, just bend the tip up a little bit, get you a little bit more out of the water. And the second thing I'd say, third thing I'll say, second thing is my feet are freezing now because they are so goddamn soaked after just going through that puddle. And then the other thing I definitely would say is, you know, just from this little bit of riding today, I still have, I put aftermarket pegs on this bike, and they are awesome for riding standing up. The downside is of them, well, there's no downside of them. The downside is the brake pedal is still a very street oriented brake pedal, and I'm thinking about either just trying to turn it up. That would probably help a little bit, so I can get a little bit more contact earlier on, or just buying a new one that would have a little bit more of aggressive tread on it too. This one has kind of like that gnarled aluminum round barrel type tip on it. So alright, well, I probably run my mouth enough. And yeah, by the way that crossing was, I don't know what stream feeds into the other streams, but there's a few other crossings. There's one down the bottom of a hill, and that hill's fairly gnarly to get down. And if I get down the hill, I don't want to have to come back up it if I chicken out of the crossing. So we'll see how I go. So alright, well, with that, peace out. And we're back. So this is Fremont Mine Road, and I found out about this road not too long ago, just by goofing around on my CRF, and apparently there was a major gold mine. You'll see some of the guts of it right over here. As I come around this bend to the left, you should see some apparatus right in front of us. Yep. So yep. I don't like when a car's coming down the road. Yeah, so big old gold mine down there. Again, I'm finding I got to use more of my front brake than my rear brake, and I'd rather be using my rear. Yep. I think I don't really trust these tires enough, Alright, so we're back on the pavement here, and then we got to make this crazy turn, which I don't know if I'll even be able to do it on this bike one shot. I doubt it. Now let's see. Nah, I whisked out. That wasn't too bad. Got some runner here or something. Yep. So, alright, well, I'll check back in when I get to New Chicago, or what I call Chicago Hope. Alright, sit down, turn the camera off. Peace out. Nothing like sitting down to turn the camera on and finding 3 or 4 giant potholes in front of you and having to make do. But yeah, so this is New Chicago Road, and yeah, the last crossing I went to, again, Jesus, it was deeper than I liked. I mean, I could feel the bike kind of going downstream. So it'll be interesting. I'm not sure. Back. So camera died before, so I did a few dirt sections and had it charged up to the battery tender. And yeah, so now well, first, some of these water crossings have been ridiculous. I mean, they're all improved, so they have a hard bottom, but my god, man, there's a lot of water in them, man. The one I hit, and I had water come onto my face and into the into the windscreen, and that was standing up. And yeah, I don't blast through them like a nut job, or at least I try not to. So I'm going down the hill that Mrs. Smith hates, and then usually this crossing can be a little hairy, full of water, but we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I put my tail between my legs, and I go back up the hill. So I can probably put my visor down. Visor means face shield for me. Anybody who watches my videos, you know I cannot get the terminology right. So it doesn't look too bad, you know, as compared to the other ones. I guess time will tell, though, you know. Main thing I'm finding is doing these in second gear. Now, this one wasn't bad at all. The earlier ones were probably the worst one. There's one earlier on that makes you feel like the bike is made me feel like the bike was getting swept away. It actually did get swept away. So, all right, well, I'm going to turn this camera off for a while. Maybe I can get one more segment in on this battery. And if you ever buy a Sena, if you think Sena 10C, if you think you could charge it on the fly, or it's bullshit, I'll tell you that right off the bat. The discharge rate is way faster than the charging rate, first of all. And if you think the shitty cord that they give you that does not clamp into the battery charging portion of the camera, so it just sits in there with pressure, do you think that is going to charge into your cigarette lighter while you're riding, even sitting down? I mean, we're not even talking like riding off pavement where you got to stand up. Good luck with that. That's like a pipe dream. I tried that a million times on my cross-country trip, and it never worked at all. So works for about 3 to 5 minutes at best. So, all right, Angry Mike signing out. Peace out. We're back. So finished up my dirt loop. Pretty much it'll be all pavement back. Might stop at the brewery, but I am going to actually inflate my tires back up. Yep. So that's the excitement there. It's cool. We got this, well, Mrs. Smith got it. There's this company doing a contest. You got to send in a picture with the sticker on it. So Mrs. Smith put I said, why don't you put a sticker on my turtle?
That's Fezzy, my turtle. I've had her since 1988 or 1989, since she was a baby.
And well, I have a bunch of turtles, but on one of my turtles. So she sure did. And lo and behold, we got a free compressor. So that's pretty cool. I don't remember who makes this compressor, but works. I've used it a bunch of times. So I just don't remember how much pressure I have to, how long I have to inflate it for. So it's kind of like a trial and error game. Yep. All right. Well, with that, peace out. And we're back. So the tires are pretty close to fully inflated or fully inflated based upon a stick gauge. And I'm headed to the Amador Brewing Company. Yep. And and I'm gonna go grab Mrs. Smith. I think her class is going out tonight for dinner, so I'll probably join them in that. So, yep. I guess what I would say is it's interesting. I need to get a good air gauge because I think there's a lot of discrepancy between all the gauges I have. I have like a really cheap stick gauge, a good stick gauge. I have the compressor gauge, a digital gauge, which that thing's a piece of garbage. Got it for free in Cycle Gear. And it is interesting. Even when I brought the BMW in for service last time, the mechanic was like, "Oh, your tires were really low," and I'm like, really low. I think he meant they were like 4 or 5 pounds low. And I don't think so. So I don't know. I probably should buy a good gauge, but when you're deflating your tires on these trips, like to go off-road and then bringing it back up, I don't want to be taking like an awesome gauge with me. First of all, it'll be clunky. Second of all, it'll be bouncing around. So I probably need to do a little bit of research and find out what's a small, good gauge, or just calibrate it according to like a good gauge and then know like it's a little bit off or something like that. Or probably in the grand scheme of things, it really don't matter. So, all right, well, with that, peace out. And we're back. So, stopped at the brewery, did some returns down some roads I already went down, and now I'm deciding to go down home on Meese Road as I almost dropped the bike there. Get a little bit more courage, which is good, but it's also bad, you know, in a way. I dropped the tire pressure again. Fuck. What do you hear? I think I go through on this side. Alright, we'll see what happens. Holy shit, there's a lot of gravel there. Oh. Alright, so I think that's the worst of it, but we'll see. Yep, yep. So yeah, this is a road that me and Mrs. Smith, whoa, that was a deeper hole than I thought, frequent, quite frequently. I was just trying to figure out, you know, where the giant holes are not, and I guess we're just gonna have to go for it. I took some air out of my tires again. I'm, you know, I don't know. Nobody watches my videos pretty much anyway. Only a few people, and I can look it up. But I'm just curious, like how much pressure you really need to drop in a tire to make it feel, or may have there be a noticeable difference off, you know, off pavement. You know, I'm using Honda specs. So I'm putting 42 in the rear on the road and 36 up front. And I'm dropping the front to like, you know, 20. I'm dropping them by 10 pounds each tire, and I wonder if that's even, you know, if it's even worth doing, to be honest with you. But who knows? Well, I guess I'll just film this. This is the first time I think I've had NC down this road. I don't know, you know. It's interesting to me. Like when I had the F650 GS, the twin, I did a lot of more daring things, and then I don't know. I got like kind of soft, man. You know, stopped doing stuff. So I don't know if I've had a young NC down this road. There's some big ass potholes here, though, man. So, gonna go a little slower so I can try to avoid them when possible. Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna rain, and that's what the weather said, but the good thing is it looks like I'll probably be out of here by that point. So I get a little pucker factor here because I can see all the skid marks in the cars. Alright, well, as I know, nobody wants to watch this shit of me bouncing down a road and crying all the time. So, with that, peace out. And we're back! So I kind of figured, screw it, I'll film, you know. Battery's probably going to die anyway. So, what's the difference, man? I don't think anybody's ever watched the full one of my videos anyway, because they're so damn long. And I'm thinking this day I'll probably just freaking trash hounds. I hate people who do all this dumping down here. Like, you can't tell me it's easier to come back here with a truck full of shit and dump it than it would be just to take it to the dump, which I'm pretty sure is free if you're a resident of the, you know, the county. But I mean, what do I know? Apparently not, because there's just tons of shit back here all the time. Hey, let me dump my fucking car part. So, Yep. The cool thing I've noticed about Young NC Off-Road, well, a few things I've noticed. So this is why I gotta probably put this video by itself, because you probably don't give a shit about any of this unless you ride an NC 700X. But with the stock sprocket again, I had a 2-tooth down in the rear for a while, and I felt the bike, I don't know, like I honestly, as folks know, I get on the bikes and I ride them. I don't sit on boards and think about everything way too much. But that 2-tooth sprocket, man, that thing was a mess, man. It was pretty hard to ride. I'm looking here because I'm like, fuck, this is a big hole here. How do I get through this one? But we'll see. I guess I'll go around the edge. But yeah, so with the 2-tooth sprocket in the rear, the bike really, I felt, oh, that was a dumb move there. Hey, let's cut your bike across some slippy mud like you're on your knobby little dirt bike. But now with the stock sprocket again, I feel a lot better. And who knows? I mean, that could be I feel a lot better because I ride more off-road, or it could be actually the sprocket. Who the hell knows? But I'm gonna say it's probably a combination of both, and I'll give more credit to the to the sprocket. Looks pretty doomy and gloomy up there, man. Like I said, I should be out of here in 10 minutes or so. So big holes. Ooh, oh. Cough coming. So yeah, I was bitching about illegal dumping before too, and yeah, I said I don't get that either. Coming all the way out here when you could just take it to the landfill. Problem with a lot of these holes that I found, like this road isn't as bad, but man, when we go down, a lot of shotgun shells here. When we go down one of the other dirt roads, Latrobe, man, that has some like massive holes, like where trucks get stuck and make massive ruts. I mean, some of them are like, it looks like it might be 8 inches deep, and it's like 2 feet deep. So, yep. Well, like I said, pretty exciting. I don't really usually wimp out on stuff, and today I'm doing it, so I feel pretty good about that. Those holes always scare me, man. I never know if they're gonna be wicked deep or not. Luckily there hasn't been so much rain, because I can actually get through the this is bad here because of the gravel, but I can, these cows, man, running from a Honda. Oh. Hey, I think I'm back on the pavement. Woohoo! So, alright, well, maybe I'll check in one more time. Yeah, so as I ran, I said my head is a mess, man. You wouldn't want to live inside my head. So many random things. So it looks like I'm going to get soaked on the way home. That's what I'm going to guess. And God, I just was going to say something, but I forgot again. Oh yeah, I'll probably make this a separate video because, why not? Who wants to watch me ride, check in to see, oh man, that hole, and then and then have to watch an hour video about the trials and tribulations of riding an NC 700X. So anyway, alright, well, with that, as I pass this hole, I sit down. Let me see if I can turn my camera off standing up. It's hard, but I can do it. Peace out. And we're back! And as I predicted, I'm gonna get hammered by rain. I'm probably 10 minutes from home, 15 minutes. God forbid I could have made it there without getting hammered. That black area over to the right, that's the way I gotta go. But it is freaking cold now, man. I would say the temp dropped like 10 degrees come through this cell. So that's something cool too. I realized that in high school when I used to ride a lot. Like, man, you really notice like microclimate, and you're like really in tune with what's going on around you because you're not in your climate controlled cage. So Yep. Well, this might be the last segment unless it really starts pouring and it seems entertaining. Then I'll turn the camera on. So with that, peace out.
Well, that was day 62, off-road riding on Young NC. 303 days to go. Thanks for watching. Peace out.